What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Scuba Driver. My name is Steven. Today is an awesome day because we're going to be doing some modifications to the Scion FRS. We have a wide open throttle box, so we can install two-step and hopefully get some massive flames coming out of the exhaust, but we'll find out after we install it. I bought the WOT Box from Kevin, who, as you guys know, owns this Mini Cooper right here, which is still at my house. We're going to be working on this car very, very soon. We're going to be fixing a few things, but also modifying a little bit as well. This car's an absolute monster, so stay close to the channel. We'll get right back to that. But yes, I did get a wide open throttle box from him. He actually had the box from the first time he had the Mini Cooper. Sold it to his friend who got rid of their Mini Cooper, and he sold me the box for a pretty good deal. The only thing I had to do was buy a new wiring harness for it, so we waited for that to come in. We got it in now. I've got a little bit of help from my friend on Instagram. I'll put his tag down here below and also a link to his YouTube channel as well. So shout out to Adrian FRS. Thank you so much. He's been giving us a few tips on how to install this box on the automatic transmission FRS, which is going to be a little bit more difficult than doing it because of the clutch signal. But anyways, we'll get to all the details very, very soon. So anyways, we're going to hop in the FRS and get the cube out of the garage here. Kevin should be here very, very soon, and we'll start working on the car. And just so I don't forget, massive shout out to FRS Adrian on Instagram. Again, I'll put his YouTube channel down below. He's got a pretty cool video of his FRS shooting massive flames under a bridge. But yes, he has been answering all my questions through these messages here about how to install the box properly, where the wires go. So huge shout out to you. Also, big news is we are at 10,000 followers on Instagram, and as I've mentioned before, we're going to be doing a giveaway since I hit the 10,000. Stay close to that. I've been very, very busy, but I've got a giveaway coming soon. So anyways, go check me out on Instagram and make sure to give FRS Adrian a follow as well. All right, so Kevin's out there dethroning the Mini, but he brought the WOT Box over, so it just looks just like this. So what I've done already is I've gotten the glove box out. I just got to go down here and remove a few screws just so I can access the ECU, which should be right back there. I'll show you guys the next step. All right, so after some pulling and tugging, we got the ECU out of the glove box here and got it all unplugged. So what we decided to do is start in the engine bay, and I'll let Kevin explain what we did with the stock relay, and we started running some wires.
So you're going to need to tap into this relay, so you're going to want an interrupt. The WOT Box is going to interrupt this relay. So you run one wire to the WOT Box, and then the other wire from the WOT Box, which we have marked with a wide end so we know which one it is that goes to the relay while we're in there. But you basically extend the wires with some connectors. So these should have heat shrink around them, but they're not going to move, so they'll be fine. So what you want to do is these wires just route after you get all the wires ran. You can just lay everything back in there, tuck everything up like that, pop your fuse box back on, and then route your wires. You're going to go right in where that wire loom goes. So we'll probably make a little cut in the loom and run right through there.
Perfect. And this is real life. 2 o'clock in the morning. Me, Rainbow, and Kevin, we're just trying to figure out the settings. We got everything wired to the ECU, so we'll show you guys that soon. But we're just trying to figure out exactly how to get the two-step to engage in this automatic. Okay, so it's been 2 days since the other night. We did that on Tuesday night. You guys saw we were up until about 3 o'clock in the morning, and we couldn't quite get it figured out. However, yesterday when I got home from work, I talked to Adrian on Instagram again. Again, huge shout out to him. I'll keep saying it over and over again because we wouldn't have gotten this done without him. We're still not quite done yet, but we got a little bit more to work on. But anyways, after troubleshooting and after talking to him and sending him a few pictures, don't know if you guys remember at the beginning of the video when Kevin was working on the relay and I said that we were on the wrong one. It's true, we were. So actually what you want to do is you're going to want to hook it up to this back relay right here. If you guys remember, we were actually on this one right there. We're going to be right on the back. So that is going to be EFI main 3. The one that we accidentally did it on was EFI main 1. So that little simple swap. When I tested it last night, we got a little two-step action. I just have some settings I got to change. So just make sure when you're wiring it up that you do it exactly like this. So this is the stock relay right here. You're going to wire these 3 wires to its corresponding pins in the relay plug here. And then these 2 wires right here are coming straight from this and also from here going through the firewall into the box over there. And then I'll show you guys what wiring you need to do in the car as well. Okay, so coming out of the WOT box here, you've got a series of wires. The first 2 wires we're going to be talking about are the orange and the red wire. Now the orange and the red wire, you'll see right here, I've got them wired up to these 2 red wires. Those are the ones that we actually ran from the fuse box up there from the EFI main relay 3. These 2 wires, just make sure you got them right. We had to switch them a couple times, but just wire those up to the red and the orange wire here. The next wire we're going to be talking about is actually the blue wire. This blue wire is actually your throttle position sensor wire. I've got a little diagram right here that Adrian actually sent me, so I'm going to put it right here. If you guys screenshot this, this is the main thing you need to know when you're wiring up to your ECU. That blue wire is going to be our throttle sensor wire. A35 C plug is where it's going to go in the ECU. It goes on the pin 23, which is what we have it wired up to, or you can do pin 31, the orange wire. That's on your C plug in your ECU, so you'll just have to pull up a diagram of your ECU, make sure you got it wired up. You can see where we've kind of clipped it in back there, but it's kind of hard to get on camera. The next thing is the yellow wire. Now the yellow wire is our engine speed or our RPM wire coming out of the WOT box and running that into the ECU. The yellow wire for the throttle or for the engine speed, that's going to go on our B plug. So not the same plug as your throttle sensor plug, but the B plug, it's going to be the pin 16. You're going to see a white and shielded wire. We tapped our yellow wire into that white and shielded wire. And last but not least, this is very important, this is your green wire. The green wire is actually for the clutch button switch. Since this is an automatic car, we don't have a clutch, obviously. So what we did is we wired this 2-pin plug right here to the clutch switch button. So this is wired to the green wire, but it's also wired to a 12-volt wire running up to the plug, and then we just grounded it to a bolt right back in there. This, whenever you turn on your switch, which my car is not on right now, but it will light up. Whenever I turn on this switch, that means the clutch is down, and that's when we can start two-stepping. I'll show you guys a little bit more of that once we get into the computer settings as far as like what this is doing and how you can know if it's working or not. But yes, that green wire is going to be your clutch switch wire. You're going to wire that green wire into the B plug, the same plug as your engine speed or your yellow wire, which is going to be the B plug, A34. You're going to use pin 6. It's a purple wire that you're going to be tapping that clutch button into, and they're going to be able to run constant power by grounding it in there as well and wiring it to a 12-volt source. So anyways, that is how you wire it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. FRS Adrian, he's done a really good job of helping me out and responding to my messages. I would say message him, but you know, if he doesn't respond or you need some extra help, just give me a buzz or shoot me a message on there, and I'll certainly help walk you through it while you're doing that. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump on the computer. Of course, at the end of the video, we're gonna have to clean all these wires up. We're gonna wire this button. Not exactly sure where I'm gonna put it yet, but I do have a DRL button on the other side of my steering wheel on the column. It looks exactly like this button, so I think it'll be nice right there, and I'll probably put a little graphic that says two-step on it eventually. But anyways, we're going to have to clean all these wires up, of course, get the dashboard and the ECU wired back up as well. Anyways, let's jump on the computer and jump into the WOT Box settings. Alright, so we got the WOT Box software hooked up to the computer here. Hopefully you guys can see that and read my screen, but I'll try to be as detailed as possible. So the settings I have written on my car right now is I have launch control box enabled and have the RPM set at 4,000. You also want to make sure the TPS threshold, that's a throttle position sensor threshold, is set at 2.51 and enabled. The RPM source that we're trying out right now is Nissan 350Z G35. Talking to Adrian, he said this was the only setting he could get to work on, even though it's for a 6-cylinder car, but we've seen his video, we've seen his flames and his 2-step, so we know it's working for his car at least. Over here, we've got no lift shift. It is enabled. Make sure Auto Box is not checked, it's unchecked. The time is 350. Throttle position threshold, it's 2.51, but again, it might vary depending on your car. This seems to be working for my car and for his car. And then we've got our rev limiter set at 3,500 RPM. So a couple things you can check to make sure everything's hooked up correctly. If you see that clutch thing right there, it says up right now. When I hit my clutch switch button, which I removed the ground wire, that's why the light's not lighting up, but once I get it wired up, it'll light up. It's still gonna say up. You come right up here, hit read. Click read there. It should say down. Now, put the clutch back up. Click read again. It's saying back up, so we can tell that that is working there. Another thing you can check is while the car is on, right now I've got it on accessory, don't want to turn the car all the way on while you're testing these settings, but if I mash the gas down all the way, that WOT box down there should be blinking, which mine is. You'll hit read again, and you can see the TPS sensor has changed there. If I let it go a little bit and read again, it should say up. If the gas is all the way on the floor, you hit read, it should say down. If you lift it up a little bit and hit read, it should say up. That means our throttle position sensor is working. So another thing you can check, don't mind my check engine light, we're gonna get that to go away. It's just from practicing this last night. I'm pretty sure we can reset that though, no problem. So another thing you can check is you'll see down on your screen here that there is an RPM gauge. So what we can do is just hold your gas down just a little bit, hit read, and you can tell it's reading my RPM. If I let off the gas, hit read again, it should say 752. That means that our yellow wire, our RPM wire, is working. So now there's only one thing left to do, that's test it out, make sure our rev limiter and our 2-step is actually working. Now we're in my garage, so I don't want to do it too much here, but it's early in the day, so we're going to try it one time in my garage, then we'll take it out in the country if it starts working. But anyways, first things first, we're going to activate our clutch. All of our settings are set. I'm going to put my car in neutral. I don't know if that matters, but what we're going to do is I'm going to slam the gas. Alright, so I just tried to do that in my garage, and that was obviously a horrible idea, but I think it's working. Anyways, we're going to take it out to the middle of nowhere, hopefully not bother anybody, and we'll test it out. Alright, so we're out in the middle of nowhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn our clutch switch on, and then we're going to mash the gas down. I think 2-step is working. You're just going to jam it all the way down, and then after you've jammed it all the way down, it's redlining. let go of the gas, and then punch it again when it hits about 3 or 3,500. So as you guys can tell, the two-step is working perfectly. We were shooting massive fireballs last night. I was standing behind the car while Kevin was two-stepping it, and it is extremely loud. This pops. I'm sure the video does not do it justice, but it sounds amazing. It works perfectly. Huge shout out to Adrian in California. Thank you so much for helping us figure out all that wiring. You made it a lot easier for us. And also humongous shout out to Kevin he pretty much did every single bit of the wiring on here. He figured out where we need to put on the ECU. Thank you so much, Kevin. Make sure you guys go give both of them a follow on Instagram. I'll put their tags in the description here. But anyways, we got it all dialed in inside the car as well. We put the clutch button switch, very clean, right here next to my DRL. So all we have to do is hit that, and that'll engage the clutch when the car is on. And then we've got the WOT box tucked away behind the dashboard over here, where you can't see any of the wires. And then when you access the, you can access the USB wire from the glove box. So whenever we want to change the settings, turn the rev limiter off, anything like that, it'll be very, very easy to do with a little bit of a laptop, or with a little laptop there. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you guys are going to install this on your car, make sure you give me a shout out on Instagram if you need any help, and I can get you in touch with Adrian, or I can just send you some pictures of what we did with the car as well. Thank you guys for watching. We just hit 10,000 followers on Instagram, so we will be doing a giveaway very soon. We've got some other videos coming with this car as well. We got I got my SARD wing coming back from the shop. It just got re-clear coated, so I'll probably do an install video on that. It'll be pretty simple, and a couple little things here and there. And we got some content coming with the Mini Cooper as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys again. Peace.